I'm ready to preach. St. John chapter 11. St. John chapter 11. And we're going to look at one verse, and that's 35. St. John chapter 11, verse 35. When you found it, say amen. There you'll find these words. Jesus wept. You may be seated. Jesus wept. The Passion Translation said it like this: then tears streamed down Jesus' face. I want to talk for the next few moments by asking a question. And pardon me, but I'm not really asking you. So excuse me for one moment. But Jesus, are you okay? That's what I want to talk about today. Jesus, are you okay? Some time ago, there was a song penned by Michael Jackson where he asked a question over and over and over again to a person by the name of Annie. Matter of fact, the entire world was concerned if Annie was okay. We didn't know Annie. We didn't know Annie's situation. We didn't even know her circumstance. We don't know what got her into trouble. We don't really know if she was the intended victim or not. We don't even know if she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time or in the right place at the wrong time. Either way it go, the question came, Annie, are you okay? And I've come to let you know, my brothers and sisters, that I am perplexed and even frustrated some because we in the church today treat Jesus not like Annie. We don't look at Jesus' humanistic side. We only look at the divine side of Christ. And when we look at the divine side of Christ, we don't ever think that Christ has any problems. Okay, y'all stick with me. I'm going to make this clear in a minute. We oftentimes think that everything when it comes to Jesus is just roses and bubbles, that everything is always A-okay. We never think that he too may be going through something. Here in St. John chapter 11, when you look at the story and you read up a few verses, you'll find out that Jesus is in a place where his friend Lazarus has now died. When Jesus got news that Lazarus was dead, the message came to him, Lord, the one thou lovest. Okay, y'all ain't getting me here. Okay, let me make this plain for you. They sent word to Jesus that Jesus, the one you love, the one you care about, the one that means a lot to you, him, that's the one that's sick. It's him that we need you to come see about. And they never checked Jesus's itinerary. They never checked to see if Jesus could drop everything he was doing at that very moment just to come and see about what it was that they had sent him urgent news about. And that's how many people treat us even today. They don't think to look and ask what we got going on. They just know when they have a need, we're expected to drop everything and come and fulfill their need. They expect us to do everything we can, move earth and sea, move mountains just to come and meet their need. And then to top it all off, they'll tell you it's the one that you love. I got an auntie that calls me every now and then. Every time she calls me to fuss, and when she prefaces herself by saying, this is your favorite auntie. And my question is, how can you be my favorite if you're the one that never talks to me? How can you be my favorite if you never have communion with me? And I come to ask you a question. How can you tell Jesus, the one that you love is sick, and yet and still you have no communion with him? You have no fellowship with him. I know maybe that ain't your story, but many of us are Lazarus and others of us are Mary. Here it is. When you look at this story, when Jesus finally shows up, and I ain't gonna preach long, give me about 20 minutes and I'm gonna get out your way. When Jesus finally shows up, they have issue with how late he is. but they don't address the fact that it was the one he loved. Okay. They have issue with how long it took him to get there. But they don't say anything about the fact that it was one that he loved. Matter of fact, when he shows up, they don't greet him with a hug. They don't greet him with a kiss. The first thing they say is, Lord, had you been here, then my brother wouldn't have died. And here's my issue. Here's my issue, because it's okay for you to grieve. I ain't tripping because they was grieving at the loss of their brother. I ain't tripping that they were upset because their brother died. What I'm tripping about, or what I have issue with, is not once did they think to check on Jesus. Okay. Here it is. How often is it that we're expecting God to do everything for us, and we never ask God how he feels when we do nothing for him? Okay. It's going to be a little tight, Greg, but I'm going to get through this all right. How is it that we're oftentimes asking God and we're frustrated when he don't show up, Reggie? We frustrated when he takes his time. We're frustrated when he don't move like we expect him to move. And then when God is looking for us to move, we got all these excuses on why we can't come to church. We got all these excuses on why we can't give. We got all these excuses on why we can't love one another. And nobody ever asks the question, Jesus, are you okay? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel when your loved ones treat you like dirt? How does it make you feel, you parents, when you sacrifice for your children and your children still don't say thank you? How does it make you feel when you go out of your way to do everything for them and they still don't say thank you? How does it make you feel when you buy yourself the good snacks and they eat them all and then still don't say thank you? How does it make you feel when they get in your car and drive your car, burn your gas, spend your money, waste your money, sleep in your house, turn on all the lights, then go to sleep, leaving the lights on, run your light bill up, and still never come by just to say thank you for even thinking about me? Thank you for showing some concern. I've got news for you. Whenever we come to church, we never lift our hands, we don't shout, we don't clap, we don't praise, we don't pray, we don't love on one another, we don't give. We act like we are just still in the world. I come to let you know Jesus has an issue. Here's really what I want to leave with you, because despite what sometimes people know about Jesus, they still find themselves in the place of frustration when he don't move according to their plan. Here's my issue. Mary and Martha knew Jesus. And I want you to get to the place where you don't allow your relationship to get you out of the place of being respectful. There's some folk I know even now in my life that because of relationship, they feel, Mother Simpson, they can talk to me any old kind of way. They feel they can say any old thing to me. They feel they can treat me any old kind of way. And I've come to let you know, don't ever get so common with Christ that you can just act like how you want to act and think that it's okay to continue to live in sin. Think that it's okay to continue to cuss out your brother and your sister and think that God's blessings are still gonna flow, and then got nerve to get upset when he shows up. Thanks be to God that at least he showed up. All right. See, some of y'all looking at me funny because you act like every time you prayed, he was Johnny on the spot. No, there were some times you prayed and you had to wait a little while. There were some times you prayed and you had to go back and pray again because you wasn't quite sure how that thing was going to work out. There were some times you prayed and you knew you paid your tithes on Sunday. There were some times you prayed and you knew you did the best you could, and still yet God didn't show up. God didn't speak a word. And when he showed up, it looked like it was all too late. Like Jesus, had you came about 10 minutes earlier, this thing would have been worked out. Had you showed up a couple of days earlier, my mama wouldn't have got sick. Had you came when I called you, I wouldn't be where I am. But now that you're here, I'm mad because you didn't come when I wanted you. Can I tell you, Jesus is not your bellhop. You don't press a bell and he just shows up. He's not no genie in the lamp where you just rub the lamp and he shows up just to grant your wish. When you're dealing with Jesus, you've got to understand there is some work you got to do. There are some things that's required of you. And while Jesus was talking, or while Jesus was listening, there was a crowd around Mary. Here's something you got to be aware of. Everybody can't handle your going through. Okay, let me give it to you again. Everybody can't handle your going through. What are you saying? See, yeah, Mary had a reason to be upset, but the crowd around her, they had a reason, but they didn't have a right. Okay. Whew, Jesus. Whew, okay, I want to make this plain. Just because you have a reason doesn't always mean you have a right. The conversation was between Mary and Jesus. Why the crowd started talking? What I need God to do is between me and God. Why are you talking? And so you got to be careful, because oftentimes, although people are hanging around you, if they're hanging around you with their level of faith ain't where your level of faith is, they're not going to help you increase. Matter of fact, they're going to smother your flame. I know that's your favorite uncle, but he drink too much. Every time he get drunk, everything he say is counterproductive to what you know God to do. I know that's your best friend, but your best friend always complaining. Every time you down in the dumps, your best friend always telling you, well, girl, if I was you, I'd go get me a drink. Let's go down to the bar. Let's go ahead and make ourselves feel better. No, that ain't what God was telling you to do. God was telling you, I know how you feel, but what I need you to do is get down on your knees and fall on your face. Seek me for a little while and see won't I show up. But every time you got people around you, you are in danger of them deterring you from what God has called you to do. And all the while this is going on, Jesus is standing there weeping. I want you to understand, my beloved brothers and sisters, Jesus was not upset that they were upset at the death of their brother. Jesus was not upset at their frustration, because after all, we are human. We gonna cry sometimes. I don't care how saved you are. I don't care how long you've been going to church. I don't care if you got your favorite pew, you got a parking spot. I don't care if, you know, everybody in the church know your name and can go back all the years and recount all your service. You keep on living. If it has not happened, keep on breathing, and it will. You're going to have some days where you're going to be frustrated that God didn't show up at the time you thought he would, and your mama died and you was praying. I remember I was praying. It was February 12th, about 14 years ago. We were sitting there praying that my great-grandmother wouldn't pass, and while we were yet praying, she took her last breath. And I'm asking God, how could you do this? Because we are a family full of faith walkers. We're a family full of faith talkers, and he still took her. And I'm trying to figure out, should I praise you or should I curse you? Because you didn't show up like you said you would, and not once did we ever ask, Lord, how do you feel? Because it cost him something to watch his children go through. It cost him something to watch his children suffer. And I've come to let you know that Jesus cried not because that Lazarus was dead, because he already knew the outcome. He cried because they lost their faith. Okay. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith
substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. And, it talks about how by the elders obtained a good report. But I want you to know, Scripture also lets us know that without faith, it is impossible to please who? Okay, so that means you ready too. So here is my question then. How is it that we can continue to operate out of faith? How is it that you can say that you love the Lord and he heard your cry and he pitied your every groan, and as soon as trouble comes up, you forget the very song you was just singing. As soon as you get sick, you forget the very song that you was just singing. You place your faith on the shelf. Why? Because now you're saying it doesn't fit this particular set of circumstances, and I've come to let you know that your faith was necessary. Whenever you start operating outside of faith, it makes the Lord weep. And I understand that they made him weep not only because of their lack of faith, but because they allowed the crowd to push them from him. The crowd around said, why he let this happen? And I understand that you got some folk. Matter of fact, you may be asking the question yourself. Lord, I was a good wife. Why you let this happen to me? Lord, I raised my children as best I could, and she still ended up on drugs. Why you let this happen to me? Lord, I was a good servant, and my mama was still shooting up. Why you let this happen to me? I've done everything I can. I ain't gonna tell your story. I'm just gonna tell my own. I was 35 when I met my father, and after that, he still didn't want nothing to do with me. God, why you let this happen to me? I was serving you. I was worshiping you. I was giving. I was doing everything I knew how to do, and yet and still you let this calamity happen to me. And he started to answer me, and he said, where is your faith? And so the question then becomes, if you can believe God for the house, then believe God for the money to keep the house. If you can believe God for the job, then believe God for the resources to maintain the job. And see, the problem is we believe God for the big stuff. We believe God for those things that's going to be big that everybody can see. And we lose faith when we're by ourselves. And I've just come to let you know that you need in this year, you need to get around some people that got a level of faith that far exceeds yours. You need to hang with some people that know how to talk faith, that know how to walk faith, that know how to live faith. How is it going to happen? I don't know, but I believe God's going to do it. And every day I get up, I'm going to walk like I already got it. I'm talking like I already got it. I'm living like I already got it. Why? Because I ain't going to make Jesus cry on my account. The next time the Lord looks at me, the Lord will not be weeping. The next time the Lord looks at me, he won't be frustrated. Why? Because my faith is built, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest phrase, but wholly depend on Jesus' name, on Christ, the solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking, saying, what are you saying? Don't make the Lord weep because you can't see your way. Don't make the Lord weep because it gets rough. Don't make the Lord weep because you get tired. Understand, what you're going through is only a test. Here's the end of the story. I told you I wasn't going to be long. Here's the end of the story. After Jesus stops crying, he asked them a pivotal question, never addressing the crowd. And I come to tell you, sometimes stop addressing the crowd. I don't know who that's for, but you ain't got to address everything. You ain't got to respond to everything. If they don't believe it, so what? Just keep on walking and don't you change your confession. Stop addressing the crowd. But Jesus gets there and Jesus says to them, show me where you laid them. Now watch this. They was mad he didn't show up. When he showed up, they never bothered to ask him how he felt. And then he says, well, so that I can meet your need, show me where you put it. My God. Their response wasn't, Lord, he's this way. Their response was, by now, he stinks. Elder John, you're a supervisor on the job, right? So, okay, well, you do something with unions and stuff, so people still got to come talk to you. And when they have issues, they come and talk to you. And it is your job to investigate their issue, to direct them to the proper course of action. Am I right so far? Okay, so as you're talking to them, you have to ask them questions. And every time you ask them a question, isn't it frustrating that they never answer what you ask? It's in the Bible. Show me where you laid them. Lord, by now he stink. Show me where you laid them. Lord, by now he stink. Show me where you laid him. Lord, by now he stinks. Here's my confusion, James. They called him to do something. He asked them, where is he so I can do what you called me to do, and you telling me what I didn't ask you. Okay. How often is it that God's asking you something and you telling him something else? How do you ever expect to get free and you telling God about other stuff? God didn't ask you what your neighbor was doing. God didn't ask you who you seen at the bar. God didn't ask you who your smoke buddy was. God asked you, show me where you laid it. Show me where you put your gift. Show me where you put your talent. Show me where you put your giving. Show me where you put your love. Show me where you put your faith, because that's the very place I'm going to go so that I can raise it up again. He said, Lazarus, come. Here's the thing. He had to call Lazarus by name. Because had he not called Lazarus by name, every dead thing would have got up. What are you saying? I'm trying to get you to understand there are some things in your life, no, God ain't gonna call them forth, but there are other things he wants to come forth in your life, and God wants to know, where did you lay it? Because I'm tired of you crying, and I'm tired of watching you cry, because every time you come to worship, you sitting on that gift, and I need what you have for the body. I need what you have to move my church forward. I need what you have to encourage my people. I need what you have to bring hope. I need what you have to bring life. I need what you have to provide peace. I need what you have to show a dying world that Jesus saves. But I need to know, where did you lay it? Where did you put it down? When was the last time you used it? Why did you stop? Will you get back up again? Because Jesus is saying, I don't want to weep no more. I remember there was a song by a group called BBD. They said, tell me when will I see you smile again? Because I've messed up and I know you're fed up. I've made up in my mind, Lord, not on my account. Will you cry? Lord, not on my account. Will you be frustrated? I want you to smile. My God. We're quick to check on everybody else. Well, we never ask God, are you okay with my worship? My God. Lord, when I was in your house today, the way I waved my hands, was that good enough? That praise that I gave, Lord, was that good enough? That offering I gave, Lord, was it good enough? Did it really reflect what you've done for me? Did it really reflect what you mean to me? Because if not, then he's still sitting there weeping. And I just come with an urgent message. Don't let the Lord weep on your account. So when they ask you, next time they see you, why you going so hard? Because I refuse to let the Lord cry over me. Why you praise like that? Because I refuse to let the Lord cry over me. Why you raising your children to always go to church because I refuse to let the Lord cry over me. My prayer for you, that this year is a year of intentionality on our part. Well, no matter what we do, Chris, we won't make the Lord cry. Say what you want to say. Call me a holy roller. Call me a goody two-shoe. Call me what you want to. But you will not call me a disappointment to the Lord. My God. You know, when you dealing with your children and they do something and it hurts you and you have tears in your eye, and the only question you can ask them is, why you do that? I want you to know God's asking the same question. Every time you intentionally go and sin, he's asking the same question. Why do you do that? Because every time we are operating outside of our purpose, he's weeping. Every time we are not doing what we've been called and destined to do, he's weeping. And I just want to know, will the Lord be crying on your account? Or will he be able to rejoice when he sees you? Because he knows that out of everything that's going on, you're going to make him smile. Doors of the church are open.